Yo, 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 what the deal? It's your boy x.e.l.o. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And thank you for coming back. But if you are new here, definitely like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'll let you know when I drop another video. If you are here for beats, I have a link below called Beats You Need. It's a playlist of all the beats I have on YouTube, or you can just go directly to my website, which is going to be x.e.l.o.h.h.com. You can come here for all your beat needs, all your graphic needs, and all your mixing and mastering needs all in one place. That's x.e.l.o.h.h.com. Alright, so here's where I'm actually going to put in my shout outs from the last video that I had out there. So here you go. Yo, I'd like to give a shout out to the people that left momentum in the last video. That's going to be Brian Nixon, Joe Brent, Adian O'Driscoll, I hope that's how you say your name, Jim Foggo, and DJ Snoop Damager TW. Special shout out to Bon Gonzo. Thanks for the comment, man. Let's go. Alright, so now that we got all that out the way, welcome to the video. Today's video, I'm actually going to do a challenge. It's going to be the piano roll challenge, FL versus Cakewalk. And you guys decide on your own which one you think wins. But I'll probably tell you which one I think wins at the end. So you have to watch to the end to find out what I think. You know how it goes. All right, anyway, let's get into the video. I'm not going to be showing my face on this one. Let's just go and get into it. All right, so here is Cakewalk. To make this easier on my computer, I'm going to be switching back and forth between Cakewalk and FL Studio. And here is the FL pulled up, and here is Cakewalk pulled up. All right, so to make this a lot easier for me on the video, I already made a simple chord and bass line. So we're just gonna kind of go through them and see what it is. I use the same thing for each one of them. So, all right, so in Cakewalk here, each one of them are set to 140 beat per minute, as well as in FL. FL is at 140. I only have it on like a 4-bar loop for each of them. I'm using purity on both of them. Purity. All right. For my 808 inside of Cakewalk, seeing that Cakewalk does not have a sampler, complete control is the way to actually do it. You will put your sample in here. I changed my pitch of it. I used a tone, a G tune here to actually tune the 808 inside of Cakewalk. If you want to actually learn how to do that, I do have an 808s video on how to do 808s in Cakewalk, so you can look at that video to find out how to do that. So it's on ADSR, so it'll kind of cut itself. I have it tuned. I also have it doing a legato, so you'll want to usually when you set this up, it'll probably be on 8, so just hit the up arrow until you get to legato. I have my glide is set at 30 seconds, and my pitch bend is all the way to the max. This is my custom 808 that I actually have. In FL, you already know. If you're an FL Studio user, you already know the sampler is already built into the track, plus for FL on that. But this is not about that sampler inside the actual DAW. This is about the actual piano roll. So usually to get to the piano roll in FL, you'll just right click and then click on the piano roll on the track. Or you can actually click in this little area here and you double click it, and it should pull up your piano roll as well. The advantage of FL is, like I said, it has a built-in engine, and it does this. This note here that has this little triangle at the end of it, this is called a glide note, a slide or glide note. So if you make a note in FL, if you double click it, it'll bring up a dialog box like this. This dialog box will appear, and you'll give an option to do the glide right here. And this is a portamento, and this is a slide. This is a slide, and this is a portamento. And then you just hit accept, or if you wanted to, you can just go right up here and change this to slide. So the next key I put in will be a slide. And you can always take that off. See, when it's lit up, it's actually going to be the slide. And when it's not lit up, it's just going to be a regular note. All right. So that is one of the advantages of the FL piano roll. So I would definitely give it a plus for that. Man, you don't understand how that comes in handy at times. All right. So going into Cakewalk. This is the 808 inside of Cakewalk. Both of them will give you ghost notes of your tracks that are behind them. So as you see, I have ghost notes of my purity keys, and you can see the ghost notes of the 808s. So in order to do that in Cakewalk, you have to make sure this little selected tracks is actually on or highlighted. So you can just drag and highlight all of them. You can just click on one. If you click on one, it'll switch just to that specific one and you won't see the ghost notes. But if I want to see the ghost notes, I'll just drag down and actually have my ghost notes in there. And if I just wanted to switch between these two, I can just click the actual name of the item there and it'll change it back and forth. All right, so my 808 here is sliding or gliding up to this note. So I'm gonna actually just play it from Cakewalk and let you hear how it sounds. All right, so that is how it sounds in Cakewalk. Like I said, these are the same exact instruments, same piano from Purity, same 808 from my kit, and I also have a regular kick from my kit, and I have a hi-hat. Yes, hi-hat one from my kit as well. So in FL, I have that same hi-hat, I have that same kick, and I have that same 808. So here's how it sounds. All right, and as you hear, the 808 from FL gives it a little more control because you actually are making sure that this note doesn't get there until this time peaks here, and there's not really a way to know exactly the time frame of when it'll reach that note inside of complete control. But it is still doing the same exact glide as going up to that note to get to that glide. So that's one of the pluses for FL. I mean, that's one of the main features why people love this piano roll for FL, and the fact that you can change your colors in here, and of course you can do some other editing things in here as well. So this is the Purity piano roll part. So a lot of people love FL because you can actually like cut up notes. So let's say I wanted to just cut this note up, or actually let's do something better. Let's do an ARP, right? Hold down Control and then you hit the left mouse button to drag your selector tool, and you can select those tracks. So let's say we want to do an ARP. You can go up here and go to Tools, and you can do Arpeggiate, or as you can see, Alt-A would be a shortcut in order to do it as well. So I'm just going to do an arpeggiator, and their arpeggiator, it gives you a little more control to me to kind of what you want to do. So you can actually kind of manipulate it on the spot and kind of see what it's going to be without having to demo it or anything. If you have watched my ARP video, I showed you how to actually turn on the ARP or ARPs inside of Cakewalk 2 different ways. Today I'm going to show you a third way. So in here are your patterns for FL. So you can click this little drop down and actually do like regular ARP. This is the default and has one range. You can change the range to make it go higher. So you can set it to 1 and you can do this. So it gives you an option to do that. You can change the way it's actually timed. You can flip it. You can do alternates. So I mean, it gives you a very nice variety of ways to actually do an ARP inside of FL Studio. Like I said, one of the reasons people really love this this program, but I'm not gonna change it in here. So let's see if we can find a way to do that in Cakewalk. So let's go to Purity. So I can go right over here, hit on purities, piano roll, and I just hold down my right click and I can do my selection tool that way to select those notes. So now that I have them selected, I'm gonna hold down my control key and just right click anywhere in here and it'll bring up my little panel. This same panel is actually up here where it says processes. So processes is the same thing. It's the same thing as coming down here to this area and then you hold down control and you right click and it'll bring up the same dialog box that it has in the other one. So go to MIDI plugins and go to uncategorize. And now you have an arpeggiator. So you click on that arpeggiator and it's going to give you an option to audition whatever you want to actually have it be. And it's actually going to show it inside of the piano roll. We don't want to put it on output, right? Let's just do a regular note going up and down, no swing, legato 50%. That means that the notes will be 50% of whatever it's set to. Right now it's set to 1/16. And let's do 1/16 notes. And if you hit audition, and as you see, it lets you do an audition and see how the notes will actually look in here. So there you go. So now you can see both of them have ARPs inside of the actual piano roll as well. It's just the fact that you can actually do it is really cool. And of course you still have your other settings in here where you can do your like guitar picks and stuff. So the reason I turned off this out is because the out is actually going to set a range for it to actually do. So this is like going into that folder in FL and doing those other little weird combinations for your ARP. So if I do audition, so it's going down to C2 and up to C5 when you actually do it like that. And if you're doing the chords, it's pretty much the same thing. It'll just do a chords in that same range as it's set up. So if you wanted to move it up, you kind of have to do it like this. It's really weird to do it this way. C, and let's try that. Now, as you see, it just went up to wherever that scale was that I actually locked in there to get that to go, and you can see that on here. So I'm going to close out of that. So another thing that FL does is actually chops the notes. So usually if you have the notes highlighted and you do like a Control U in FL, is going to automatically chop the notes to whatever the grid is that you're on by whatever the measurements are that is on FL. So if you're in FL, so it'll chop according to this grid right here, these bars. So if I do a Control U, as you see, it chopped all of them to that precise number of bars that is actually in there. Inside of Cakewalk, I do have a link below that shows you how you can actually chop the chords up with a chord chopper. Let's say we wanted to do that same thing. I can do a Control U on my keyboard, which is using a CAL script. So let me show you the CAL script first. So I'm gonna hold Control, right click, and I'm gonna go down to Run CAL. So the CAL scripts that I have are these three here. So I can break the notes into 4s, break the notes into 3s, break the notes into 2s. If you wanted to, you can just make this CAL script yourself and actually add, a 6th and an 8th or whatever you want to actually set it to. Just change the numbers from like the 4 to the 8. But I'll use this 4 and hit open, and it's going to cut, as you see, all of them by 4s. So now, as you see, there's only 4 more to do. So if I highlight all of these again by right clicking and dragging the mouse, and I do a Control U, which mine is set to, as you see, it broke it down. Now it has the same amount of chops as the one in FL. So in FL, same thing. So this is one of the reasons people do love FL, because you can actually just chop up your stuff really quickly in here and really efficiently. So I'm gonna Control Z here. If you do an Alt and U in FL, it'll bring up a dialog box so you can do your chopper. So as you see, that's 4. And you can just keep kind of going as far as you want to. And that's the good thing about the FL one, and also the note chopper that I actually have. It can keep going down by 4s or by 2s or even by 3s. I have one set for it'll chop by 3. So that's one of the things that people love in FL, and it's also in Cakewalk with that c.e.l script. All right, so I'm going to Control Z here and Control Z, and now I'm back to normal. I'm not going to do this in FL. All right. So now another thing that FL does is called Strum. Their Strum is probably one of the best ones I've seen. As you see, as soon as you click it, it just kind of sets it up to strum however you want it. It changes the velocities and all that, all in one go. I'm not sure if there's a way to do the velocity as well in Cakewalk. So if someone actually has an idea of how to do it, please let me know. Leave a link in the description or some kind of notes in the description to let us know how to do that as well. So the time here is what actually does the strength of the actual legato, and you can do a tension to kind of bring one of them back further or bring it up closer. So that's what the tension will do. You can end it. You can chop the chords if it goes over, so it'll make another little note over there. You can do the alternate direction, or you can just turn it the other way and it'll swing the other way. So this is like bananas. This is a really, really great strummer, and FL will definitely take the W on that. In Cakewalk, I can do the control and right click. I can run c.e.l, right? And I can find my strum. I actually created my own strum, which is this Strum It 2, which gives me a little bit more flexibility than the regular strum, because I think the limit of the regular strum is like 100, and I think I pushed mine to like 300. So I can do up to 300 for the strum in here. And the good thing about this is it tells you which way you want to go. If you want to go from low to high, so it's low up to high, or high down to low, which is going the opposite way. Or you can just do an alternate where it'll kind of just switch between them. I'm just going to have it go from low to high. And as you see, it strummed it according to the 300 that I actually put on there. All right, I'm just going to Control Z those and put them back. Let's talk about putting like extra notes, right? So see, I have a note here, and let's go. All right, so let's do those same notes in FL. So E, F, G, A. E, F, G, A. All right, same notes. All right, same exact note, same exact place. All right, so let's say that I wanted to highlight these, so I'm gonna hold down Control, and I'm gonna left click to do my option tool to select those notes. And in FL they have this little arrow here. See this little arrow? It gives you an option to drag the notes out to almost do like have their own little space, and you can drag it in as well. It's really, really cool, so you can actually kind of give it like another feel for your actual keys. Lo and behold, you can actually do the same thing in Cakewalk. So if I right click and I drag over these notes, and now if I go to the end and you see this little arrow that it makes here, if I hold down Control while you have this arrow, and then you'll be able to actually drag the notes out just like we just did in FL. So I'm gonna Control Z it, so bring it back. And I'm gonna go back into FL, and I'm gonna Control Z that and bring it back. The only difference is that you can't do it the other way in FL. You can only do it with this little thing here. I don't know if there's another way to do it. If there is and you're an FL user, please put it down below in the description so we all can find out how to do that as well. Cakewalk, on the other hand, highlight all of them so we can see all of them being do it. Hold down Control. We have those arrows just like that. So now, as you see, I can drag it and bring it upwards. Where I don't see it in FL, you can do it. You probably can. You probably have to move it over and then drag it out. But in Cakewalk, it works both ways. I thought that was really cool. And it's something that both of them do, but Cakewalk looks like does it a little better. All right, so we did the glide slides, we did the complete control, we did the cuts. All right, so now let's say we did our 808s. So let's go to our 808s. I did try to do the complete control, but it doesn't do slide notes inside of FL, like with the glide notes that they have. So I had to resort to actually just using the actual sample inside of FL. So here are our kicks, or sorry, our 808s, right? So let's say we wanted to actually grab this and bring it to our kicks. Right click on the actual sample, do a copy, and I'm gonna go down to the kick and I'm actually going to paste it. Boom, so now it is pasted inside of the kick. But as you see, the kick is on the wrong key. So let's do some cleanup first, some maintenance, I would say. So I'm gonna erase these here. You can just right click on them and it'll actually erase the notes. So now these are still out of key. You can kind of drag it down to that, you know, the C5, wherever that is. C5 is here. So let's say we had 808s all over the place, right? So if we highlight or do a Control A, highlight all of them in the notes, right? And you do an Alt and then the letter K, and it brings up this. As you see, all of them jump to whatever key I had it at. All right, so now we are set on C5, and this is our kick. So I'm gonna hit accept, and now you have your kick on the same line as your where you want your kick to actually be. Or if you want it on another key, you can change it to that key. Now you can just drag it to wherever you want to, or just do like a, what is it, shift up or down, or whatever you want to do to actually make it. But now it's all on one line. So that's how you get it all on one line in FL. And you can also do the same thing in Cakewalk. So what I'll do is grab this. This is the 808 right here. So I'm gonna hold down my Control and I'm just gonna grab and drag it down to my kick. So now it is on the kick, and I'm gonna just double click here and open up the kick. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna right click over these right here, and I'm just gonna delete. So now these are still out of the key that it's supposed to be in. So now if I do a Control All, if I wanted to actually bring them all to the same exact key, it's not like you can do inside of FL. There is another system, just like you do a control key for FL, but it's up here. It's called Event Inspector. So now if I go to this pitch, right, and I select C5, you see I went down to C5 and I hit enter, all of them went down to C5 now. So now all of them are on the same thing, and that's using the Event Inspector, which is right up here inside of your Cakewalk. I guess you can make a hotkey if you want to. I just kind of have mine open if I ever need to kind of do this. So now my kick is here. And now I have them all on the same exact line, just like I did in FL. So I showed you the chopping, I showed you the strumming, I showed you the stretching of the notes, I showed you the ARP. It's just all about preference. And right now I am liking my workflow inside of Cakewalk. I just feel that it's the right move for me. FL still may be the right move for you, so do it. you can actually pull up FL inside of Cakewalk, which I tell people all the time. For some reason, they don't believe me. So I made a video showing you how to do that as well. So if you do need to do that, pull up that video and it will show you how to actually do that inside of Cakewalk. So you can pull it up right inside of Cakewalk. So if I right click on here and I go to instruments, insert an instrument, right? And I go down and I go to tools. There's tools right here. And I say FL Studio VST. The multi is for 16 outs. The VSTi is just for 1 out. But you can actually make your whole beat in FL right here in this little window and then pull it out into Cakewalk, so you'll actually have all your files and be able to save it. Even if you have the free version of FL Studio, you'll be able to do this. So I don't see why people are not actually doing that. It's bananas to me, you know, I guess, I don't know. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. That'll let you know when I drop another video. It's not right. I don't think that was right. Let me stop this. Let me stop this right now. Let's go into it. All right, here I am. And like I said, the word for next week will be FL versus Cakewalk. Leave that in the comments and I'll shout you out in the next video that I have. Once again, it's your boy x.e.l. Until the next time, people. Peace.